This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, and I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick. How are you?
Pretty goddamn terrible. All things considered.
Wait, did I just pause? Yes, I did. That's right, I did. So, in the spirit of the podcast, what do you have for us tonight?
All right. Well, it's like people who regularly read the blog will probably notice that I went to make a special off-schedule podcast post this Tuesday at around 2 a.m. because I could not fucking sleep at that time. Where I made a post that basically had Spider Jerusalem from Warren Ellis and Darick Robertson's classic series Transmetropolitan express my feelings about the current election because, you know what, I voted for Clinton because, it's like, contrary to what the majority of people feel about her, I don't think she's a horrible person, and I think that, it's like she's just about as trustworthy as most politicians, and she is not actively evil or willing to say and do anything in order to become president, or espousing racist and bigoted beliefs that in order to become president as well. Now, it's like, so, but hey, we got President Trump, and like, the fact that I was up till 2 a.m. with anxiety that night, worrying about who was going to be our next president. It's like, I'm sure like a lot of people can understand what I'm coming from here, but it's like but as soon as this was taking place, I realized, okay, I know what series encompasses what I'm feeling right now, and that is Transmetropolitan. Now, to begin with, Transmet wasn't like an overtly political series at first, at least. It's a story of it's like an outlaw journalist, outlaw gonzo journalist, Spider Jerusalem, who, after having retreated to the the mountains after working for years in the city, becoming a beloved, hated, and infamous journalist. He finally worked up enough capital in order to escape, but is now being forced to come back to the place that he hates in order to write additional books out of contracts for the editor he lovingly refers to as the Horror Hopper. Now the first year of Transmet is glorious world building. In these first 12 issues, Ellis and Robertson shows this brilliant depiction of the future, showing us that hey, things are insane. I mean, it's like we've got a world with a city that requires us to take noise medicine in order to cope with its sensory overload. It's like this is where a new religion is invented every 6 hours, where people who were placed themselves into cryogenic freeze are being brought back and then into this present day, and are not are essentially experience shell shock at this crazy ass future, and worlds where it's like places where reservations where past civilizations are able to live out their own lives. It is glorious, brilliant world building. It's like, and when I got the first volume of this series, a 3-issue collection from DC's now defunct Helix imprint, which is basically it was meant to be what Vertigo was to old superhero concepts and mature readers stuff. Basically, Vertigo was more fantasy stuff. Helix was meant to be explicitly science fiction stuff. Most of the Helix stuff has basically been forgotten by time, but Transmet was good enough to be adopted by Vertigo. It's like after its first year, and it's like and this first year of Transmet is brilliant stuff. And rereading it, it's fascinating to realize that when Spider in the first arc has to is telling his current editor that hey, I'm going to beam this column writing about this riot in this transient being humans who basically are like transitioning from human to alien DNA. It's like in their community. This is like where the a riot had broken out because the cops and politicians had basically fostered such in order to bring them to heel. Spider basically he live blogs the incidents, the stuff that's going on right there. It's kind of like, dude, it's like Ellis foresaw live blogging. It's like and even positioned it as a force for positive social change. It's like, that's crazy, and that's one of the things I love about this series in the sense that it really foreshadows a lot of it's probably the most credible version of the future that I've seen. It's like not just in comics but in fiction in general. Yes, things are going to be strange. Yes, things are going to be insane. But it's like human nature. It's like in politics, they're not going to change that much, and that comes into play in year 2, starting with volume 3, Year of the Bastard. This is basically the point where Spider has to engage with the current political situation, where the party in power, who's led by a politician colloquially known as the Beast, someone who Spider when this guy won, Spider just wrote a column that basically consists of the word "fuck" written 8,000 times, and now it's like the person with the best chance of winning is someone who's called Gary Callahan, also known as the Smiler, because when you first see him, he's just a political creature who just smiles, recites the poem Ulysses, and then freaks Spider the fuck out by just saying, "Hey, I'm Gary Callahan. Let me shake your hand." And Spider goes, "Oh my God, it moved!" So it's like when I read this and it's like it's back in the late 90s when it originally came out, and like I loved it. Just thinking, it's like, hey, it's great political satire. It's like, hey, but we can laugh because it could never happen here. Oh God, I thought that that Bush II was, it's like our answer to the Smiler, in the sense it's someone who could, lie and just, it's like, make political reality his own thing. Oh God, Trump. On one hand, yes, he is someone who just will say fucking anything to be president, and who just is primarily concerned with power. And I look at this and I think, dear God, it's like, I was wrong about, Bush having any relation to the Smiler. No, Smiler is Trump. But no, it's not just, him, but also there's a small but pivotal character in this in Year of the Bastard, Joseph Heller, who is the Smiler's opposition, main competition to being the presidency, and he is a jackbooted Hitler scum, as Spider refers to him. And at one point, Spider, he attends one of Hitler's rallies. And Spider is like, smoking up a storm, because that's what he does. Spider does lots of drugs. He's Warren Ellis's id Unchained, and he's getting shit from this one guy who's saying, "Hey, what you're smoking smells like Satan's ass, boy. Put that shit out." And Spider just headbutts this guy's ass because hey, Spider's a gigantic asshole, and he's congratulated for it. The people around him are going, "Hey, way to go, man." It's like, way to be strong. Go ahead, headbutt the weak, man. And, Heller is like, the personification of all of the anti-immigrant rhetoric that Trump has spewed over the course of over his campaign. And, at one point when he says that that the objection of the modern pacifist. He says, "I want the wombs of the American women to be shat in by the weak." That is the objection of that is a contention of the American pacifist. It's like you read what he says, and it's like, holy shit. I can honestly, that's not too far from what Trump was saying throughout his campaign, and and the panel that follows it basically is Spider just cowering as he smokes up to relax, saying, like, I swear I didn't make a word of that up. So it's like you've got this while Heller and Smiler were different candidates, eventually it's revealed that Smiler bends over for Heller's block in order to get the votes from Florida that he needs in order to win the nomination. Spider eventually points this out, and it's like at one hand it looks like Smiler's candidacy is dead in the water before he kills the we don't know this yet, but Smiler's main aide, person known as Vita Severn, basically tries to it's like she's like the one honest person in his campaign, and Spider winds up striking up a nice friendship with her, but then she's shot dead, and it's eventually revealed that Smiler may have actually had a hand in this in order to win him the sympathy vote. So, but then things follow into the new scum, where we get like a closer look at Spider's mentality at this time, and the new scum is also where I got those images from the from the post I made after. It's like the night that Trump won his presidency, because it's like I look at this and think, hey, everyone was even though like Spider acknowledges in the comic that the Beast is a horrible asshole. It's like he at least believes in something. So he has his own, like, he's not just he's if he's willing to fuck some people over. It's like he at least has some ethics. But Smiler, no, not so much. He's just in this in order to fuck over everyone because he can. So it's like So when the Smiler wins, it's like, oh man, it's like I'm seeing like everything we saw in Transmet come true. Like at one point, then in the subsequent volume, Lonely City, when Spider gives an interview and talks about how hey, I always thought people were essentially bright, distracted, sure, and weak, and beaten, but never stupid. And then you show them, here's the two people you want to be president. One is evil, but you can deal with him because he actually harbors beliefs. The other one will tell any lie, wear any mask to become president, and not only that, he fucking hates you, and he's doing this job just so that he can make your lives hell. And who do you think they vote for? That is how I feel about this election in a nutshell. But if anything this election has taught me is that politics is a tribal thing. It's like you vote for the tribe that you feel most closely affiliated to, and that hey, regardless of whether or not you the person being positioned for the job can objectively do a better job than that. It's like you're going to vote for the person you like, and the person you feel you can can at least pay enough lip service to you, or the person you feel most comfortable going to have a beer with. So yeah, I voted for Clinton because it's like not because like I'm really passionate about her, but just for the small fact that Democrats not evil, but I have to invoke Brooks here in the sense that evil will always triumph over good because good is dumb. And this election really drove that home. And even though it's like he didn't have a chance when he got to California, fuck, I should have voted for Bernie just because I know that if he was the guy, if he was our nominee for the Democrat Party, and we probably could have won just for the simple fact that that his numbers weren't underwater as far as Clinton's goes. And hey, it's like this is a comics podcast, and you're thinking, God damn it, Glick, why are you even talking about this shit? I want you to talk about, fucking entertaining comics. And it's like, I'd love to do that, but this is something I need to get off my chest. And, this is the world we live in now. But the whole reason I turned to Transmet after this election is because, well, yeah, the Smiler won. He's in charge. And in the volume after that, Lonely City, when a genetic hate crime is committed against someone who apparently had secondary sex organs. It's like, and Spider and his two filthy assistants are targeted as a result of their involvement in this investigation and the subsequent riot that erupts when the people who committed this hate crime are released into the into the wild. It's like, yeah. The Smiler is a vindictive guy, and he's out to get them. But Spider and his team, it's like, they are, even though it's like, they are, outmanned, outgunned, outfinanced on every single level. They employ every dirty goddamn trick they can, and eventually, the Smiler is brought to justice. I mean, that's a gross oversimplification of the back half of Transmet, but it's like, Ellis, he's, even though he is it's like, he professes to be a very bitter, cynical guy. So he is someone who also believes in the I guess ultimate goodness of humanity, at least, but it's something that has to be earned or and dragged through razors. It's like drag through razors for a good couple miles in order to, and that you bleed for it in order to happen, because it's like Spider loses a great deal. It's like, from in the process of this, from his position of respectability to even his at some point we're learning his his sanity at one point, but even then, his sanity is the loss of his sanity is a great, glorious trick that when you get to the final issue, it's like, it's you can I guess you could argue that maybe it's a betrayal of what has gone before, but at the same time, he's a clever, devious fuck that he would be able to pull something like this off. And Spider, so he's a it's like I wouldn't say he's exactly likable. He is thoroughly charismatic in his pursuit of the truth. It's like, and it's like at all costs. It's like at cost of decency, morality. It's like, and even good physical health. It's like, hey, he's killed 16 people in self-defense. Really, it's like, which hey, draw your own conclusions about that. Yeah, but also Transmet is also smart enough at certain points to acknowledge that, hey, it is even though it's like what we're doing here is like that Spider is in pursuit of a grand nebulous ideas as a truth. It's like, you can acknowledge that, hey, this is not quite sanctimony. In fact, to the point where in Volume 6, when we get the issue where Spider realizes that, he's been turned into an anime about a magical truth-saying bastard Spidey, and hey, this is people. This is for all the people who turn into Transmet, just for all the glorious filth that Ellis turns out. Or when you get to the bit about or when you get to the bit when his film biography, where you get some sort of Schwarzeneggerian interpretation of Spider saying, "I'm going to tell them that this is wrong." That, yeah, it's like, it's not just about it's like blanket morality as well. Like, yeah, it's like like Ellis has a specific worldview that he is that he is advancing here, but he's at least smart enough to realize that hey, it's that there is there are arguments against what he's doing, but he can at least acknowledge them in the text. And this is also probably some of the most electrifying stuff that he's written. It's like period. I mean, it's like, just, I mean, yeah, it's like this is when I talk about on the blog of me being a Warren Ellis completist, this is a series that turned me into that. Really, it's like even like back when I first read it, it was incredible, and now it just probably more than anything else I've read, it's like it continues to return dividends. About this, that's a series that was written from the late 90s to the early aughts. Continues to inform our current current situation, and that's quite frankly amazing. And also, it really wouldn't be as memorable if it wasn't for the astonishing art of Darick Robertson. Robertson is a fantastic caricaturist who is like completely on point every single panel with the expressions he turns out for the characters, and they're like from spiders like like demonically to the character to the filthy assistants like incredulous disbelief, or just the people or just the random inhabitants, just like like random craziness, like about the situation they're thrust into, and just like the level of detail he throws into the insane features cityscapes that he delivers with like each issue for 60 issues. Like, it is truly fantastic work, a brilliant culmination of words. It's a brilliant combination of words and art, even before you consider the fact that the series continues to inform us today as well. And it's currently available in 10 volumes from DC Vertigo, and I highly recommend this to anyone. It's like, even if you don't like Ellis, it's like this is like the one thing from him. If you only buy one thing from him, this would be it. And it's like my only regret is that rereading these 10 volumes in the last couple of days has only afforded me temporary relief from our current political situation. But once that's done, all I can hope, anyone who voted against Trump can hope, is that it's like the man's ego eventually leads him to do stuff outside of what he was advancing during his campaign. The sense that that his ego won't allow him to be to be remembered as the worst president. That maybe he will actually make compromises in order to bring both sides of the political landscape closer together. It's like, in order for him to basically be seen as some kind of great uniter, because hey, he'll say anything to be president, so maybe he will say anything in order to bring all of this together, or God help us, maybe just unite both parties against him, like in Congress or whatnot. But I say this because hey, optimism is the only choice we have left. So, John, any thoughts from your end about all this?
Are you done your political bitching? I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
John,
I'm going to tell you that there is a lot of frustration out there when it comes to these things, and I admire your attitude. So, but yeah, I as for the Transmetropolitan, wow, that sounds interesting. And hey, wasn't Lex Luthor president? Anyway,
yeah, that's another good analogy right there. It's like, but I don't think Lex has left any lasting legacy as a president. But I would, if you gave me a choice between who would I vote for, Luthor or Trump, I'd Luthor, absolutely, because Luthor, God knows that Luthor would absolutely make things better, because just for the same reason as well. But you can trust in Luthor's behavior just for all the empirical evidence that has been offered for us at this point, as for him being a fictional character, at least.
Luthor 2020? Okay.
It's like Luthor 2020 versus Ron Perlman or Dwayne Johnson 2020. So there you go.
Well, we'll just have to see. Do you know what you're going to talk about next time?
Okay. Well, I said last time I said I was going to do a Nick Spencer thing, but at this point, I'm I'll either be doing Apocalypse Wars for X-Men, or I may talk about the Attack on Titan anthology that I got in the last week. So that was an interesting read, if nothing else, too.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Laters.
Bye.